Hello, and I am in Shawford with my phone very precariously balanced on a bus waiting shelter. And as I said last video, I'll be talking about my views on GCSEs. Well, not far away from here in Shawford is Guildford, and in Guildford is the University of Surrey. With that, the University of Surrey has an office for the AQA, which is one of the many GCSE exam boards here in the UK. Welcome back to Random's Talks, the series where I talk about my views of the world and everything else in between. So, with that, obviously GCSEs, I'll be honest, I think they're an absolutely horrible idea. Now, I say that, I don't say that lightly, I say that very, very strongly. Like most kids do, let's be honest, especially the people who have done them. But I honestly don't think they're a brilliant idea, only because not everyone can cope under exam stress. That being, kids have been known to have panic attacks in the past, or just simply freak out. And very quickly here from Brighton, as editor me realised, I should also mention, I suppose the analogy of all the animals trying to get up the tree is quite good for the example I was trying to make. I suppose we've all seen it where, the monkey can climb the tree, but the elephant can't so well. It's sort of like that. Anyway, back to the video. Now, whilst I know there are some things put in place, like I can do a BTEC, or I don't think it's an actual exam, but I don't know much about that, so I can't exactly say anything. But what I think they need to do is make it a lot more inclusive. How they can do that is potentially scrap the GCSEs entirely and adding in a newer system. For instance, you could do that by kids just learning normally, and then the teachers can assess how they do in that exact subject. So for instance, in maths, if a child's doing really well in a certain subject, then they've passed that section, but if they don't do so well, they can get a lower mark in another thing. As long as it all adds up in the end, that's all that matters. It's still the same thing, it's just not an exam, it's more a general assessment throughout year 11. Now, as it is quite cold here, it's supposed to be warm today, but I've decided to go shorts and t-shirt because apparently it's going to warm up later. But what I can say is that, well, obviously it's the summer holidays. The year 11 GCSEs are coming up next year, unless they do every year, obviously. But what does matter is that, obviously, if everyone passes and the government are happy, the only thing, though, that schools seem to care about is how high their pass rates are. If their pass rates are high, that gives the school a good view. But it's not about the school, it's about how well the child understands it. If the child doesn't get a subject as well as someone else, then, well, of course they're not going to do as well. But obviously you've got to remember that a lot of kids, they struggle in exam conditions. Even an in-class test, they can struggle, and I have to say, I've seen it myself. I personally have a few friends that struggle in that way. But with that, obviously, I think there are special arrangements in place, like they can do it in a quieter room, or they can get a reader, or they can get a scribe. If that makes them feel a little bit better and it's more likely for them to pass, like every other child would, it gives them a fair advantage, and that is what matters. So with that, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and join me next week as I talk about my views on what I think of the mobile phone ban coming in to schools next year.